was called Modern Myths, and it closed. An obligatory middle finger to Amazon. Everyone, give a quick middle finger to Amazon. And yeah, there you go.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons & Degrees. My name's Adrian.
And I'm Alex.
And today we are with Whistler. Hi, Whistler. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We are going to talk about the artist, the author, the designer of Rapscallion as a whole. I would love to know how this project started.
How Rapscallion started? While I was working at a local comic book store. Support your local comic book stores. And it was specifically one that specialized in indie RPGs, which I think was very lucky because I think that's pretty rare. And so when I was chilling working at the desk, I would read through some of the catalog because I was really curious. And I did a lot of tabletop RPGs in my private life. I believe we had a copy of 7th Sea there, and I got excited. I love pirates, and I didn't realize until I read it that my conception of what a pirate story ought to be was actually rather specific, and that 7th Sea didn't quite encompass that. So I went home and I wrote a version of it that I wanted, and I think that was the start of Rapscallion.
What was the reference of the pirate story that you had?
What was the what? Oh, the reference? I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, to be honest, it was it was a story that when I was in high school, that was when I first got into art, and for fun, I drew myself and all my friends as little pirates. And we got really into it. And so we had this shared pirate story that we all contributed to. We went to an arts high school. So some of us I was a creative writer, and then many of my friends were visual artists. And so we would all put some stuff into this pirate story. And I think it was, it had some Pirates of the Caribbean. It had some One Piece. Our Flag Means Death came out while I was writing Rapscallion, but it sure could have been an inspiration, and it was the end. So yeah, a little bit of everything.
I'm not going to get on a tangent. We're gonna.
Sorry, did I open a can of worms? My bad.
No. I think that's for every queer person, right? Is that
yeah.
You talk about Our Flag Means Death, and then the overwhelming sadness of capitalism and the shenanigans that streaming platforms get on, and just randomly just canceling your shit. It just hurts. It just sucks.
Yeah, 100%. I think I don't, and I promise it's tangent will be over, but I feel lucky because I don't usually watch shows. And I happened to be watching Our Flag Means Death sort of weekly upon release. And I almost never have that experience. But I was having that with some friends. And it was really great because all of the explicitly queer stuff, we kind of came out of left field. We didn't realize that was what was going to happen. So it was really meaningful. It was a very cool experience.
I agree. Yeah.
It's such a good show. With the designing for the art for the book, I feel like there's a different kind of template that you have to kind of look at when designing for a book versus just having art as a spread. What were those kind of difficulties that you had to kind of overcome?
I think the Magpie Games, pretty established publisher, had a lot of experience, and thus had a pretty set framework for how that part of the process would go. And honestly, the biggest hurdle, at least initially, was overcoming the fact that I was also writing and designing it. That's not usually the case, I guess.
Gotcha.
So normally they have an art director, MK, who finds the artists and like tells them like the template for the style, because it's usually multiple different people, and gives them prompts. And when the person doing the art also knows everything there is to know about the book already, and is like the main designing force behind it, it created some questions as to what that would look like. So it ended up being more of a collaboration between MK and myself, where MK would give me prompts and ideas and references based on their previous experience, and I would translate that into illustrations. And it came in two different parts, which was the official illustrations for the book and all of the small, usually non-illustrative design elements for things like chapter headers and the page number symbol and all of the stuff that goes into the playbook pages, which are also pretty heavily illustrated. And those are two different processes to go through.
I don't think I ever thought about that until just now, of like all the little tiny detail aspects of like the chapter headers and like if there's stuff in the corners and then like the numbers. But then taking that entire project on as yourself, like just you, that's incredible. Like your brain must be wild to be in.
And to give credit where it's due, the layout team, I can do layout as well, obviously, but the layout person he's called Miguel, and he did a lot of the layout. And I worked pretty closely with him as well, because, you need very specific dimensions for the book stuff, right? Like if you want to incorporate, for instance, for those familiar with the playbooks, there is a harm tally and a luck tally, which go together. And we went through a bunch of design iterations on how to make that look good. And all of them had to fit into a very specific amount of space within the playbook. So what ended up happening was I made whole cloth a template version of what I wanted the playbooks to look like, back and front. And then did layout versions of everything. And then Miguel would come in and look at all the space and see what we needed, because some of the playbooks have a lot of writing in them. And then he would rearrange them and give me different criteria. So it was very back and forth. Pretty dry.
It's good that you had that support. I know it's kind of like the tiny minutia within creating something like this, but like having so much like influence into this alongside the team. Do you feel that anything that you kind of like had to kind of give or take within that process? Was there anything that like working with a team assisted or was kind of difficult to kind of learn with, things like that, when creating something like a book like this?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think, honestly, as might be obvious, since I wore a lot of hats when making Rapscallion, I tend to want to do everything myself. I like having that control. I think it's very fulfilling for me, which means that, but I also do not want to be an auteur, right? And Magpie was extremely experienced with the PBTA format, which is the type of game that Rapscallion is, and as a result was hugely helpful in the editing process and formatting process. But there were times when, especially when it came to specific layout and copy editing where I constantly feel the urge to get my sticky fingers in there, and really dig around, try to do it all myself. Especially since, Magpie has like 3 other projects on their plate at any given time. So they're not going to do it as quickly as I could do it with, some like glue and paper at home.
Dear listener, PBTA means powered by the apocalypse. I definitely just Googled it. It's fine.
I knew what it meant, but I forgot that we also have listeners.
Yes. Okay, so real quick. PBTA means powered by the apocalypse, and powered by the apocalypse refers to Apocolypse World, which is a game by Vincent and Megan Baker. I could be getting that so wrong. I'm a little tired, a little fried, but
remembering those names is pretty good. Okay,
names, dates, worst for me. But yeah, it was a very influential tabletop RPG, very Mad Max in style, and the creative team behind it put it under Creative Commons, essentially a type of Creative Commons where the format of the way they structured the game, which was very narrative focused, they allowed that to be used by anyone. And so the PBTA, or Powered by the Apocalypse, style structure has become quite popular as a result, especially for more narratively focused games. Yeah. Spiel over. Sorry.
No. Spiel away, because that also is the same as. Oh, I don't know any other TTR. That's great. Never mind. Scratch that.
Yeah, all of or most of Magpie's content. So, Urban Shadows, Masks, the new Avatar RPG, the official Avatar Last Airbender RPG, as well as things like Monster Hearts, which is a very queer game. Yeah. It's a great sort of indie RPG staple at this point.
Yeah. See, I don't need to remember anything. Everybody remembers for me.
No, wait. Whistler's is tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm just a little guy.
Let the little guy sleep.
Hold on. Aren't we all? Wait, aren't we all little guys? All tired?
Listen, I said that one time, and they're like, no, I've seen you in person. You're not a little guy.
You can be a little guy in spirit, I feel. It's fully.
I truly am, okay.
In every person, there's just a little guy. And you gotta take care of that little guy.
Yeah. This is like therapy's talk for like your inner child. Nah, we just call it a little guy.
It's just a little guy. You gotta take care of your little guy.
In Rapscallions, what has been your favorite piece to make, art-wise?
Art-wise? It sucks.
I'm telling you to pick your favorite child now.
No, it's not. They're not children. I have a very utilitarian relationship with them. It's more like because there's a couple different types of art, which is the art that you most enjoy making is not always the art that you should make, because the art you should make challenges you and increases your abilities as an artist.
Nah, dude. What's the art you enjoy making? Let's know. I want to know.
The playbook art. I really enjoyed the playbook art's style. It's specifically like a banner that's on the right side of the page, the front page of every playbook, with a black, white, and red illustration of. It's for free online. You can find them. A black and white illustration of a potential character. So playbooks are the equivalent of like a character class for the D&D heads out there, but for PBTA. So PBTA uses playbooks, which are a kind of combination of a class and a narrative archetype that you fall into, right? So for instance, one of them is the captain. If you're a specific type of piratical captain, and there's a picture, like a potential picture of a captain there. And it's a very, I was really interested in book studies growing up, especially old books, medieval manuscripts, illustrations, illuminations, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And woodcut designs and things of that nature. And because books are highlighted in Rapscallion's world, there are like magical self-made books in the world. That's like one of the things you can plunder as a pirate, right? I
Right.
wanted there to be some feeling of that. So I did this like specific. I made this style for these illustrations, and they end up coming into the proper book too. They're the full page stuff is all colored fully,
Mm-hmm.
but there are also these like small illustrations that fit into smaller
Hmm.
spaces, and those retain the same style. And those were really fun to do. I think inky drawings like that, line art drawings, um, are more up my alley. Um, and color is sometimes more challenging for me. I don't know if that comes across in the actual work. The audience
No,
will have to
because
tell me that.
your cover is very colorful. Like it definitely has that like whimsy and like that like Saturday morning cartoon
Hmm.
feel to it. Like it's just full of color. But I mean the playbook black, white, and red images are incredible. They're also incredible. So like I just think you're a really good artist, and I think you're trying to downplay the artistic talent in your fingers.
Thank you. That was very sweet of you. For me, I see. It's easy for me to look at the color illustrations and see flaws because it's something that I have been actively improving or trying to improve in is more colorful illustrations, which is why you see so many of them in the book. The book has a lot of very uh, like poppy colors.
Hmm. I mean, but that's the artist's journey as well, right? I know that I struggle in this area, and so you're going to be more critical of those parts because you're
Hmm.
less confident. Listen, the weirdness of talking about art, and the fact that we can directly apply it to any TTRPG, is crazy. That I'm like, yeah, I know you're doing great. Like they're so good.
You're very
I
sweet.
also like
And also,
the
it's just like when you are creating the thing, you see every little, stroke of a brush or a pen or whatever, um, and you like but people from the outside aren't like completely kind of gonna take that, but you are usually your worst critic. I mean, as long that's like me. That's me at least. I don't want to project anything to you, okay? But that's how I see it most of the
Okay,
time.
hold on. One more compliment.
Oh God.
If you can handle it.
One extra. You have a really amazing like grasp of how light works, and like your use of light in your illustrations is really fucking cool. Like it you do a really good job of like highlighting and then the scene, and then the light itself as a contrast with the background. It's very fucking cool.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet of you. I
You're
I think
welcome.
light and color are intrinsically mixed, so I'll take it as a good sign. Good
I don't know.
kind
If,
of
listen, I don't.
sign.
I will push back. I don't know if the light and color are intrinsically mixed because you could be really good at adding color, but you could be really shit at lighting things. And you have that like very dramatic, beautiful lighting
I would
in your
I would say
illustrations.
that, and consider this a tip for any artists out there. That light, especially when I started, because something I started doing in recent years is I'm a professional GM, so I do uh, mostly D&D for kids, local kids events, and I have been starting to buy and paint little tabletop miniatures just in my free
Yes.
time. And um, something I learned while doing that is that like if light didn't exist, there would be no color. Everything would be black. So in order to
Mm-hmm.
think about like, okay, what color is this guy's cloak? You have to think what is the light source and where is it coming from and how many are there and things like that. So I would say that like whenever I'm going into a color illustration, the first thing I think about is like, okay, where is the light and why is it important and how is it going to affect the scene?
I feel like you're very uniquely uh, in a good position to say these things, Alex, as your art teacher for the young ones.
I do teach the art. I do teach the art with the kiddos. But I'm shit at art. Like I'm gonna tell you that. I'm a teacher. No. I'm a teacher first, so I'm like really good at stealing things from other people.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you also worked with kids. So you get it. You get it. They love seeing the miniatures. They love like picking them out for themselves and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I think it helps.
Adrian's favorite thing. Yeah, Adrian's favorite thing in the world is painting miniatures.
I am a perfectionist, and I get so upset when my tiny little bristle just touches the other side that I'm not even working on, and I just have to like. I'm like, okay, I can't freak out. I put everything down. I stand up. I walk away, and then I freak out. I'm like, God.
I think, Adrian, you need like a 2 bristle brush. Like, I think you just need to have like a singular hair that you paint with.
Wait, you want to know? Really happy. You want to know some like gentle crimes committed in the service of art? No, this is relevant. Yes. I promise. I promise it's relevant.
Go. Down with the gentle
crimes. My parents are like nearing retirement age, and they wanted to have like a special time, so they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Europe." And I was like, that's awesome. But while you're there, if you happen to find any Kolinsky sable brushes while you're there, which is like the best sort of brushes that are out there, but you can't have them in the US because they have animal parts in them. They come from the tail hair of a weasel, a specific type of like mustelid. So you can't like import them commercially. So I'm like, while you're there, if you wanted to like buy one and then bring it back with you, and they're troopers and they did it and they gave me a couple for my birthday. And let me tell you, they're a dream. You can get such tiny details with them, and they can be like fat brushes too, but they come to such a point.
When looking into creating Rapscallion as its own kind of, I guess, unique idea that was something more to your tune when you were kind of like reading 7th Sea, what are the things that you were looking for that are unique to Rapscallion?
That's a good question.
No way.
The biggest one is the focus on the ship. I think that's really important, and 7th Sea didn't really have that. And I'm not digging on it. It's a pretty cool game. You guys should check it out. Everyone should check it out. Shout out to 7th Sea. But the first thing was that I was expecting there to be a lot of robust thought put into like the pirate ship, because really in a pirate story that's the framing device.
Oh yeah.
And everything else is irrelevant. If one of the pirates leaves the ship and the crew, then that is no longer part of the story, right? The camera follows the ship. It doesn't follow individuals. So that was number one. I really wanted to highlight it, and 7th Sea didn't really have ship mechanics so much. It was also very Europe-focused. 7th Sea's background world, at least the base game, focuses on sort of a fantastical... I wouldn't even call it fantastical version of Europe, sort of an alternate history version of Europe. It's clearly Europe, but each of the countries has its unique type of magic, basically. So it seemed more interested in telling like swashbuckling political dramas and things like that. And to me, the land and the laws associated with it are very anathema to a pirate story. The idea behind a pirate, if one were to heroify them, make them heroes, right? If you were to do that, then the law must by necessity be evil, and it often is historically.
Right.
So highlighting that and highlighting how the law, which is in Rapscallion, one of like the three factions you need to worry about, right? Um, and by far the most villainous one. The law hoards the land, and the pirates are pirates because they cannot be there. They have been ousted from society for whatever reason because they are other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that relationship also I thought needed to be front and center. That feeling of like we are not, like, society has rejected us
Yeah.
for any variety of reason, and we may not be good people, but we are forming a bond through that otherness. We are forming some kind of um, like a found family narrative. That's not necessarily always going to be the case in Rapscallion, but it needed to be an option and it needed to be focused on. At least that's what I thought.
I think, at least in my experience with pirate culture, the ship is so important, and I also within like the TTRPG setting, it's very hard to pin that mechanic down into a proper
Mm.
um, what's it called style. There's so many things, with depending, like I know Powered by the Apocalypse has like more narratively designed things compared to like something crunchy like Pathfinder and 5e when they do like the spaceships like Spelljammer. Like it is a tough beast to take on. Um,
Yeah.
what is something with the ship that you are kind of proud of that you're like, this is a good mechanic, or this is like one of my favorite mechanics within the ship?
Uh, I mean, the ship has a playbook. That was the answer we came up with. The characters have playbooks, and then everyone picks the ship's playbook as well. And just like the character playbooks, the ship playbook has inherent story stuff. The playbook for the ships are not you're picking a galleon, you're picking a warship, you're picking a sloop, right? That's not
Mm-hmm.
the actual choice that matters. The choice that matters is what is this ship at its heart? What's the narrative behind this ship? Why do you care about it in the story?
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
three playbooks that come with the game are the three ship playbooks, I should say, are the Legend, which is a ship, which is the Black Pearl, right? It's the ship that
Right.
is already famous or infamous, and now you are crewing it, and you're um, shoved into this big mire and mess of like legacy and rivalry and other people who have strong feelings about you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's the Jewel, which is an extremely fancy and well done ship with some incredible tools on it that you just happen to have recently stolen from someone who desperately wants it back.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is the Ramshackle, which is by all definitions, a very shitty ship that you nonetheless like. The reason you're on the ship is because it's important to you for emotional reasons, and that's the most found family ship probably. Like that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
and you, again, like you see that the the ship is what the story will settle into, right? Like water in a glass. So it needs to contain the boundaries of the play experience. So every ship has attached to it a renowned chart, which is sort of a way, it's optional, but it's a way of charting progress through the game, and each one has a different one. So as you uh, do things on the chart, which might be things like have a large ship battle um, on the seas, right? Something that people learn about that adds to your
Mm-hmm.
myth. And every time you do something like that, you check it off of the chart. And
Right.
once you've completed a row on the chart, you gain renown. And you can have renown 1 through 5. And the higher you get, the more things will happen when you reach port. People will see you. People will start to pay attention to you, both positive and negative, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And once you reach Renown 5, in order to reach that, you need to do some pretty impressive things. And once you do that, the story ends. At least that's the idea behind the chart, right? Like,
Right.
it gives the story a kind of shape based mostly on what the ship cares about, right? So for the legend, the thing might be, how have you set your how have you told your legend? What's the big important thing you've done that has changed the fate of the sea? Whereas for the Ramshackle, it's maybe you've like actually established a name for yourself. Like, it's much more humble, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're starting from such a lower place that the two ships are not really equivalent in terms of what they want to do. That's all very abstract stuff, but like,
Right.
for me, that's the core of the ships in Rapscallion.
What's your favorite ship from media?
From media? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big question.
I already got
Um,
mine. It's the Going Merry.
Going
I
Mary's really
the
good.
One Piece.
Dude,
The
I've
Thousand
never
Sunny,
cried over a ship until then, okay?
I think the going. So I did have each of the ship playbooks. There's like questions you answer at character
Mm-hmm.
creation, and the last one's always like, "What's the ship's name?" Right? You have to name it. And
Mm-hmm.
for every single one of the playbooks, there's like options, right?
Yeah.
Um, you're like, it's like this, or whatever you want, right? So it's like there's some like templates, and I had a famous ship name from media in all of them, and I think the Going Merry was the Ramshackle one, which I
Very
thought
much
was
is.
appropriate.
It is.
Um,
It is. It is.
and so the Going Merry, I think, is, I mean, it's got to be up there. I will give a shout out to the Flying Dutchman, which as a
Mm.
kid I remember
Mm-hmm.
I watched the second Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was very taken by the idea of like a ship that it's like a drowned men's ship, right? I think that was very cool. And it also
Yeah.
has an organ in
It's
it.
like
Like, why? Great, awesome, love that.
built out of the bones of your people,
Yeah,
not the crustacean part of your people. They're not bones anymore. Are they? Are they still bones if they're still Davy
If
Jones?
exoskeleton.
Like,
I think our exoskeleton is different.
is Orlando Bloom's dad still made of bones, even though he has a giant starfish on his face? Or is he just like a starfish?
good sir, are do you still have your bones with you?
Do you still have your bones, sir?
No, I think he still has his bones. He just has extra bones now. You know, extra sea bones.
Ah,
Extra
extra bones.
Yeah,
extra
that's what you get
crunch.
if you go on Davy Jones's ship. You get extra bones. That's sort of their pitch.
That's why the
Hmm.
Jolly Roger has a bone in it. It's a multiplier for your bones.
Oh my god, that was such a good ship. Do you
Wait,
know that one part where like the guy like pulls his body out, but is like still like very much stuck to the ship? I just remember that entire scene giving me nightmares, and just like
Oh, really? I
that.
thought it was so cool as a kid.
It was
That was
cool,
such a good
but like
scene.
also
Like,
I
I
was then
watched.
trapped in the boat.
My parents tried to make me watch Indiana Jones, the first Indiana Jones, and I was like, "That's simply too much. It's too scary." But then I watched like the guy sucking his body out of the ship, and I'm like, "This is great. Love this." I don't know what
Not
the
the
standards
first
were.
Indiana Jones being too much.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even that far in. It was like the first scene, and there were
Yeah.
dead people in the traps, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Mom, this is not good content for me." And then sadly put it away, and I didn't rewatch it until way later. Don't know, not sure what the logic was.
It's okay.
I
It was a
think.
different time.
Oh, for sure. Um, Alex,
Yeah.
did you
Adrian.
say your ship?
I did not, because I didn't actually think of one. There, well, like,
But like what?
I don't know what I would choose. I don't feel like
For someone who had like a name for the car called the Commodore, or the what was your car's name for a while? The it was you called it something when I jumped into it.
that was like a million years ago. Um, I I don't even know. I don't know what that says about me and my trauma, but I don't even remember what you're talking about. I don't ever
Okay.
remember having a fancy name for my car.
Fine,
My Fiesta is the Fiesta. It
Just
is. It's just a Fiesta.
boo.
I know.
Where's your whimsy?
Where is
You're
my whimsy?
you're so much more whimsical than I.
I mean, the only thing that comes to my mind is like the OG Black Pearl, but like once again, we're talking, and then my brain was like, what about spaceships? Are we not also including space in this? Because
I don't know.
if that's the case, then like
Pirates exist in a multitude of places.
then
Online,
I'm here.
the
The
sea.
LimeWire,
You could never
the
run Rapscallion in
LimeWire.
space if you did some brief edits.
Yeah.
That's the expansion. It's not an edit. It's expansion. It's the
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Control F, find pirate, space pirate.
It's just the exact same book.
Yeah.
Same illustration,
Do it.
everything, but on the illustrations, I've just like copy pasted some stars. No other difference.
The sabers are just made of light instead of like iron. Easy.
What's the ship in Treasure Planet?
Good question.
That one. That one. That ship.
We'll
I
just
know
call
the
it
name.
that shift then.
That ship.
All
That's a
right,
cool
I'll
ship,
give you that, and we will continue on then, Alex.
That's fine. Thank you.
All right, Whistler, how did you get into TTRPGs?
I always knew I'd like them, but I, my parents are both ordained ministers, so I didn't get a chance to enjoy them as a kid. And
Satanic Panic.
yes, exactly. I think both of them were okay with the idea. They just, weren't in that realm.
They're not going to
whatsoever.
push it, you know,
Yeah.
in a
No.
positive format.
So it wasn't until I got into college where I finally found other people who played them, and I immediately was like, "Oh, I'd love to join some games," and it led to me running a 30-person or so LARP version of Changeling the Lost, which is a Vampire the Masquerade sequel from World of Darkness. So that it escalated pretty quickly.
Sounds about.
That's wild. A 30-person LARP. It was
Yeah.
on
Yeah, it
campus.
was in the college. It was in the college, I should say. Sort
I
of like
love
a
kids.
college LARP with some of the other students.
Vampire the Masquerade is so intimidating. I'm in a game and it's intimidating.
Oh yeah,
What do you think about
we
it?
had to. You can imagine the sort of edits we needed to do to make that thing be LARPable.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
I keep getting forewarned by my DM saying, "Listen, combat's deadly, so just be careful." And I'm like, I did make him a little combat heavy, so this is I hope it doesn't kill me in the end.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe your DM's a toughie, but from what I recall, it's not that different from D&D. It's just that the combat mechanics have been brushed over once instead of 16 times, right? So they're a little rough.
Gotcha.
But the fans of that series of games are true diehard fans. So
Oh yeah, they run deep.
oh yeah,
The
for
whole
sure.
communities I've just like kind of fallen upon, or I just talk to them. Oh yeah, I play Vampire the Masquerade. I'm like, oh cool, I have yet to play it. And they're like, yeah, I play it like every week. And I'm like, weekly? That's crazy. It's been a long time since I heard that word.
No, I run a weekly D&D campaign, and it is weekly. Not to brag.
Ooh.
Not to brag.
That's a big brag. We know what you're saying.
So sorry.
Tooting your own horn.
Sort of humble brag in the chat real quick.
Just stunting on me, just straight up hitting the gritty.
Doing a quick backflip for everybody. 100%.
And then you flip the water bottle and like walk out of the room.
Yeah, flip the water bottle, first try. I dab on them and leave.
All the classics.
No. I think it's hard. It's hard. You have to be diligent about it, but it's possible, guys. All of you out there listening who think that a weekly campaign is impossible, it can happen. I've seen it. I've been there, Gandalf.
It's been years since I felt the schedule in my favor. Now it's like whenever, as best as I can, is essentially what I've been doing recently for my games.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah. Oh, my dog's barking all day.
The autism part of my brain says yes, weekly, and then the ADHD part of my brain says no schedules, only chaos. So my two inner selves always at war.
What was your first character that you created?
The first character generally, or for Rapscallion?
In general.
Do general, and then we'll jump into Rapscallion.
We'll go back.
Okay, great. The first character I created was... Oh God, what was her name? It was it was for D&D 3.5. It was an online campaign that some college friends introduced me to. It was... I wanted to be a monk, but they said that was too complicated, which in retrospect I question. So it was a fighter. They were a dwarf who worshipped the Cabbage Lord, I think, and had a cabbage on their head. And they died second session in.
Unforgiving.
No help?
And then I kept going, which was crazy.
And then the trauma kept coming.
Can you imagine, like,
yeah, I was like, I saw that happen. I was like, I want more of this specifically. I guess.
Thank you. Can I have some more, please?
I put all this time and effort into this character. Please let me build another one.
Yeah.
How about Rapscallion?
Rapscallion, God, I think it was the captain. I made the captain first.
It was just like, we start here, and then we can work our way across the ship.
Yeah, I think... Actually, I remember the original order, because we eventually had to alphabetize them, but for a while it was just in order of creation. So it went like the captain, the swashbuckler, the chronicler, the Madelo, something. Some other ones.
And others that you can find.
Yeah, like it was like... It was sort of like... Besides the chronicler, which is a bit of an outlier, it was like, what's some of the tropes you really want to see in a pirate story, right? And the captain with like grand ambition, sort of the Captain Ahab style character, that was pretty big. So I think I started with that one.
Was there anything that you had to like, that you made and then you made another one of, that like on accident, and you're like, oh, well, these could just be like, if you push them together, that's like a full character that I can create.
Yeah, 100%. I think, oh, geez, it's been so long now. The process of making Rapscallion was very long because the pandemic happened in the middle of it. Um,
Uh,
so it's been a minute.
mhm,
Yeah, oh darn. Oh darn. The darn demic is what I call it. Yeah, I think there were a couple of different, um, there were a couple of different playbooks that went through major changes. Honestly, though, now that I think about it, at least the 6 core playbooks that came out in the quick start, they were always pretty constant. The only difference is that there used to be one called the Witch, which I ended up not putting in the book. It's in one of the stretch goal rewards now for the Kickstarter. Um, because it had more specific and niche mechanics. Basically, it seemed a little bit more outside the purview of like an average pirate story. Um, so I ended up shunting it to the side for a little bit. Yeah, I think the main thing that happened was some of the mechanics got twisted around when the 3 extra playbooks went in for the core rulebook. So for the
mm,
quick start, which is like a free, you can still find it. It's like the rules are a little bit out of date, but the quick start was like a 60-page quick guide that you can find online for Rapscallion that we used mostly to get feedback from playtesters because we wanted to improve the rules, and that happened like sometime in the pandemic, I think. And that one only had 6 playbooks in it. And for the final book, there are a total of 9. And so there were 3 extra ones that we added. And when we added them, I shuffled some things around because I realized, and now that you have those extra ones, there are certain themes and elements that work better for certain people. So I had to do a little bit of shifting. For instance, there's the Madalo, which is like
mhm.
the strong, brawny type with a heart of gold, but like a bit of a problem with anger, who's like there to protect the crewmates until the thing they have to protect the crewmates from is themselves, right? And then there's the Gunslinger, which came out in the core book, one of the extra 3. And the Gunslinger is like a vigilante with a desire for vengeance, who can sometimes get a little too merciless, a little too mercenary. And those 2 both have a problem with going out of control, right? With like a
Yeah.
version of anger, but they're different. They're different aspects of that. They feel different to play, and making sure that they were sufficiently juxtaposed with each other was important. So there was a little bit of like back and forth between those 2, if I recall.
When you kind of discuss these types of topics of like figuring out what is working and what needs to be kind of make sure that it with this new idea or this new playbook or anything like that it works well with the rest of the team, how does that work in a setting where like do you come to a team of people like, hey, can you advise this? Or like I know you said that you've put out a quick guide to get feedback on it. How does that feedback kind of assist in your creative process?
Well, it's very helpful that, to be honest, I think that I would consider myself a pretty good writer and a pretty good artist on the whole. But design is something that, this is the first game that I designed myself. So in that respect, especially, I was very keen to hear the advice of the editors at Rapscallion, specifically Mark Diaz Truman, who was my main editor and is pretty experienced, worked on a lot of Rapscallion projects, or Magpie projects in general, PBTA projects. Mm-hmm. I knew a lot about PBTA. And I think he would always go over, he was always the first pass, so I would have design stuff, and then we would go over it together, and he would tell me, okay, here's my thoughts. These mechanics are kind of overlapping. This mechanic could be specified. This one seems a little vague. The trigger for this move needs to be polished a bit and make it broader. Very specific. I think something a lot of people call PBTA simple, not as complex as D&D, and I think that's not necessarily accurate. I think it's not as complicated, but from the design perspective, it feels very complex, right? The complexity is not in numbers and mechanics, it's in the wording, because the wording, like the narrative, is always first. So a lot of design work go into the moves of PBTA, which is one of the core like mechanics of the games, are these moves. And the moves are triggered by specific events that happen. So you only roll for the moves if the event is triggered, which means that like the language that the moves are using is extremely important. They have to convey to any player of the game exactly when you're supposed to use this move, how to trigger it, how often it should be triggered. Like there's a lot of information that needs to be packed into very small spaces. So a lot of the edits are just like, okay, what word should we use here? So I think that was the vast majority. So like, for instance, we'd do some play tests, we'd hear some feedback for the quick start, and we'd say, okay, it looks like a lot of people who play the mountebank, which is the playbook of a pirate who is possessed by a demon. A lot of people who play the mountebank are leaning too heavily on one of these powers that they get, which I believe was the shape-shifting power. And we want them to use the other moves they get too. How do we make it so that it's more balanced, right? Like, and that's not necessarily making that move weaker or like doing a nerf or something. It's also like, how do we make the other moves sound more interesting and be more creative and evocative in their description, right? So it was things like that a lot of the time. Or if there was confusion about specific playbooks and moves, we would go in and we would make sure, we would like test different things out and see like, okay, did the player seem better about this? You know, like it was all very, very minute, increasingly minute as we went along. And this is all, forgive me if I'm boring you, this is all very
perfect.
No. This is what all it's about. Like, I just had a conversation about bringing Lorcana into my school and like using that as a way for students who are English as a second language students, because the vocabulary in gaming is so specific. Like it's across the board, right? The rules are the rules, and the way that a lot of those games are written, a lot of, you know, any of the TTRPGs is like, you can only do this thing because of this thing happening, or like that has to be linear because you're gonna have players who become rule lawyers, and things are gonna have to be done in a very certain way, which is of course part of the like learning curve of writing your very first game. Also, by the way, is fucking published. Like, hats off to you, my dude.
Right. Thank you. I'm very excited. It's been now I think a 7-year long process, so it's been a long time in the making.
Yeah. Do you have any projects you're working on right now? Like, do you have anything that you can talk about?
Oh yeah, like 3 or 4. You know,
cash. It's fine.
I make it's something I really enjoy doing, is like tinkering around.
Yeah,
and we'll see if I can get them published too. I'd love to, but you know, even if not, playing them with friends would be almost as fulfilling, right? But I think the main reason I'd want to publish them is because it's been really truly gratifying to see people get inspired by my work and have characters they really cherish and get a lot out of those stories. I think that's, it's an experience I'm really grateful for. So I'd love to make more projects if possible.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, you had the face, and I was waiting intently on your
Okay,
face.
well then when you made the waiting face, I thought it was
No.
Oh.
I realized today that I was thinking about it. I was like, why does he stop every time? And I feel like we have this conversation almost every podcast of
Not every podcast.
almost every it's when I like see that you're about to make a question face, and I'm like ready for your question face. But then I think you interpret it as me wanting to say something, but I'm really just like excited for you to say something.
Yeah, and now I have to rethink what my question was.
I'm so sorry for getting you off track.
It's fine. Oh, how'd you get to work with Magpie? Was this after like working with them before, or like work with Magpie to do Rapscallion? Was it you worked with them before, or?
I got pretty lucky, I think. So the gaming store that I mentioned was called Modern Myths, and it closed. An obligatory middle finger to Amazon. Everyone, give a quick middle finger to Amazon. And yeah, there you go. And while it was closing, the manager, like one of the managers of the store, was like, hey, one of the places that we would go to, one of the places that Modern Myths would like panel at, like table at, was a con called Metatopia, which is in New Jersey. And it's a gaming convention, but the thing it specializes in is helping designers playtest their games. So the people, it's free to attend unless you are a designer. The designers pay to have their games playtested, and you can select a special playtest with industry professionals. Industry, like people who work in gaming, will like come and help you playtest your game. And the manager mentioned it offhand, like, hey, yeah, like, if you're interested in games, I know you were excited about our indie RPG section, you should go and play test some games in Metatopia. And I was like, oh, I have this like random pirate game. Maybe on a whim I'll run it. Went out there, ran it, and Mark, I mentioned before, from Magpie, was one of the people who at the sort of professionals playtest. And I guess I don't know what he saw in it, frankly. It was quite young in its development at that point. But he reached out to me afterward and said he was interested in publishing it. In fact, I got a couple offers, which, again, no idea how that happened. Now, in retrospect, looking back on the progress it's made. No, I mean, yeah, it's because I'm incredible, obviously.
Obviously. Yes, it is. Nobody here is going to tell you different.
It's crazy looking back on it because I think it's improved a lot and I've learned a lot since then. So it's kind of like the art, right? It's like I can see the flaws only, but at the very least, it was a great playtest because we didn't actually playtest the game. We just talked excitedly about games for 2 hours. So maybe that's what they were excited about, was the attitude. Yeah, that's how it works.
I mean, that's a good thing to bring, you know?
Yeah, a can-do attitude.
We're ready.
Yeah. All you need.
Yeah, we're ready.
And not just a can-do, but like being passionate about the things that you're working on. And if people can feel and see that within the person, it's just like, it's contagious. It's cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd recommend, even if you don't don't have any designed games, Metatopia is a great place to check out if you're on the East Coast. It's a smallish con, and you get to see so many cool designs of games. So if you like playtesting, if you like seeing a game in its like earlier stages, and tinkering around with it, I recommend it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We should try to think about smaller cons, Alex.
Listen,
I just got back from Gen Con, and that was crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot. We have PAX coming up. The only problem with Metatopia, I think for at least Adrian, is that it's at the beginning of November, so like right before the double dip of PAX Unplugged and Metatopia.
Well, yeah, we'd have to figure things out for sure.
I mean, listen.
Yeah, no pressure, no pressure.
3-hour train ride.
But maybe some of your audience are over there anyway.
Yeah. Go check it out.
It's like it feels like a supportive atmosphere. It's a nice place. And I can't like larger cons like that. I went to Gen Con this year because of Rapscallion's release and stuff. Like, I wanted to help promote it. But I wouldn't have done it otherwise. It's a lot of people.
It is something. I feel like our time at Gen Con was, even though we had like a project there fall through, it still felt so busy. It was just so many people walking across multiple buildings, and I'm just like, I just need to sit down.
They really man spread in that con. They really. You have to like download an app to know where everything is. It's crazy.
You have to know where every single hotel and every room in that hotel to figure out where you need to go.
Man. Truly wild. I think it might be the biggest. Is it the biggest con in the U.S.? I heard that somewhere. And honestly,
I think it's. I don't think it's. I think San Diego still takes that. I think that one, but.
Really? How can something be bigger? I don't understand. How can something be bigger than that?
As a
I don't want anything to be bigger than that.
I don't want anything. It was 72 attendees. What is San Diego?
No idea.
I'm sure everybody is listening so tightly to this. Okay, the stats for 2025 were not available, but last year it was 130,000 people in San Diego Comic-Con.
It seems like a lot. I feel
130,000.
It seems like maybe too much. My controversial opinion is that seems like maybe too much.
Too many people in one space.
72,000. That feels what? There's. Okay, maybe not.
Wow, it really is that much bigger? That's crazy.
I don't want to even conceive that the amount of people like looking at like a crowd. Like that is wild.
It's almost double.
I think there are some stadiums that aren't there stadiums that have 100,000? Am I making that up completely?
I
feel
wouldn't
like
put it past.
100,000 is just so many people.
Right. It's look, football stadiums go fucking freaking crazy. Like also they like the stadiums they make specifically for the Olympics as well. Like I don't. Anyways, let's wrap this up before I have an existential crisis about how many people live within a space.
The largest stadium in the world is in India, and it holds 132,000 people.
That's too many people. It's like I feel like that many people should go home. The moment you see that many people, you just immediately go home, no matter where you are.
The second largest stadium. Dear listener, I know you're just once again so curious.
Riveting.
It's in North Korea. 114,000.
How do they even know that? How do they know what goes on down there? I thought no one knows what goes on.
Maybe they just
just talking about the numbers. They want to gloat.
Yeah, I guess that is something that they would brag about. That's true.
And then the third is Michigan Stadium.
Is that the one that has the really cool marching bands?
As a Texan, nobody outdoes Texas marching bands.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Except
I didn't
for
realize.
it's okay.
I didn't realize
No,
I was
no,
really
no, no.
tapping a deep well of
It's a
emotion.
It's a
controversial-
controversial opinion right
It's a
there.
controversial opinion.
You already homesick? You move across state and like, I will still defend Texas.
Can I confess something here on this podcast?
On your podcast? Fuck no. You shut up. Find a different podcast. I'm just kidding.
I have never craved Whataburger more in my life. More than I have in the last week. Like, all I want is a honey butter chicken biscuit sandwich. Like, I just want a honey butter chicken biscuit sandwich. Like, it. What am I doing with my life now? Like, why?
I'll be real with you. I've never once been to the southern United States.
It's okay. You are missing a couple of cultural food items, but other than that, it's kind of crazy down here.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I grew up in Egypt, and I've never been. It feels sort of like a gap in my knowledge.
I mean, yeah. I feel like Egypt and Texas span two very different food profiles.
Yeah, 200 fields. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, dear listener, if somebody could send me a honey butter chicken biscuit sandwich.
Do you want me to
Also,
can I bring that
for
in the
any
airport?
concerned Americans out there, like all the other 100,000 plus stadiums are from America. That was the only two that weren't from America.
Yeah.
All of the other ones are in America.
Everybody else is here. Adrian,
Which doesn't surprise me at all.
You can pick up 5 of them at the airport, and I will Venmo them, and I will have them at Gen Con, and I will be so happy.
Our next con is PAX U.
That's what I meant. That's what PAX Unplugged. I don't want a year. I want 2 months, 3 months.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Whistler, where can they find you?
Oh, they can find me in places and locations. And I'll list them now. Here it is. Art of Whistler on Blue Sky. And if they want to have an art that I made, I'm available for commission. And you can see my stuff at artofwhistler.format.com. Art of Whistler, all one word. And you can contact me there. So feel free to look me up. I promise I am okay at art. Sometimes.
It's so good. It's so good.
Occasionally. Every once in a while.
I will literally fight you.
Okay.
Wow.
What if I went to the southern
so we're
United
about to
States and you'd
end-
never reach me? You'd never be able to find me down there.
You're gonna be at Metatopia, and I'll be at Metatopia, and I will.
Oh no! They know my location. They know the previously mentioned location.
I'm a 4.5 hour drive now, bitch. I will find you.
Fuck! I've been exposed.
We were about to end the podcast without having anyone bestow violence upon another. So
is that a
it's
ball
too
for
late
me
for
to tick
that.
off? That makes sense. That makes sense.
Welcome.
It's part of the bingo sheet. Alex
It's the bingo.
fights somebody because
The
they're
bingo
not
sheet.
accepting
It's
the
encouragement.
compliments.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
take the
yes, yes.
compliment. You're incredible. It's so good.
The other one is Adrian refers to Curse of Strahd.
Yep.
That's the other
Oh,
bingo square.
well, that's that one ticked off, huh?
Now it is. We got it. Bingo.
We did it.
We did it. All right.
Thank you, dear listener, for joining us on another episode of Dungeons and Degrees. You can find us wherever pods are cast, so be sure to like, subscribe, give us 5 stars, whatever you need to do to help the algorithm support us. You can also find us on the social media at Dungeon and Degrees. That is Dungeon with no S at the end, the letter N as in no Nazis, and Degrees with an S at the end. On all social media platforms that are important, which does not include Twitter, because fuck Elon Musk. You can also help support us at Patreon at patreon.com/Dungeon and Degrees.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. My name's Adrian.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Whistler.
Go have some fun.
Boo-doo-boo.